20 witnesses. The fall broke his arm. The DA's story, Colin killed William, is payback.
What's our story?
This is a witch hunt. Colin was singled out because he's different. But just because he wasn't captain of the baseball team like you doesn't mean he's guilty.
Sometimes the different kid is guilty. Columbine, Paducah, and way too many others. Appearances aren't always deceiving. Sometimes people are exactly what they look like.
So judge a book by its cover, that's what you're saying?
I am just trying to see this like a jury will. Colin looks like the kind of kid that could have done it. Plus, he's confessed.
They say he's confessed, but so far, I can't find any confession in the discovery.
Keller's a jerk, but he wouldn't make up a confession. We need to find out where this is coming from. Knock out the confession, and he's got nothing.
He's got the paintings of crucifixions in Colin's room. Plus, Colin was caught tagging pentagrams before.
You were at the house, Tom. You heard Colin deny painting the pentagrams at the crime scene.
I'm just saying it looks bad for him. Real bad.
They must have a theory of how Colin did this. Did the DA take anything that Colin could have used in the crucifixion?
No, they didn't take anything. They did find Colin's sneakers. They matched the shoe prints found at the crime scene.
I spoke to Colin. He said he used to hike up there.
Have Betsy go talk to the neighbor, see if he confirms it. Alden, you seem to like the kid. You're in charge of him. Tom's trying the case. I'll go talk to Colin's parents.
Here are the pictures you asked for.
Good. These will help humanize Colin for the jury. Was this Colin's baptism?
No, that was his bris, but he had a baptism too. Why?
This is a crucifixion case. Colin's religious background is going to be an issue at trial.
I'm Catholic. Deb is Jewish, and we didn't want to push Colin, so we let him choose. Maybe that's why he's so screwed up drawing crosses all the time. I know, it's art. He's an artist.
Artist sounds weird. We want to present him as a normal kid. Does he have any other hobbies?
Yeah, hanging out in his room. I don't know what the hell he's doing there most of the time.
And whose fault is that? All you ever do is criticize him.
I try to be a good father.
Stop it. Trial isn't for months. You need to be strong, united. Jack, we need you on TV saying you know your son never could have killed, let alone crucified anyone.
Why not me?
Because you're his mother. Mrs. Dahmer probably thought Jeffrey was innocent even after they found a head in his freezer. A mother trusts, a father knows. People believe fathers.
The cops took my books, my DVDs, my paintings, half my t-shirts.
You'll get everything back as soon as this is over, I promise. The police took 100 books out of your room. A lot of them were about real crimes and serial killers.
I mean, I like fiction too. You know, Stephen King, fantasy. What does it matter what I read anyway?
The DA is going to say what you read and what you watch paints a picture of who you are. You like dark music, speed metal, goth stuff. The DA will say that your CD collection is the soundtrack of a killer. All your black clothes and your anti-establishment t-shirts make you seem brooding, antisocial. They'll say that you're obsessed with death and violence. All that fits the profile of a killer. The jury will hear two versions of who you are. We have to make sure they believe our version more. Travel Scout stuff like this, this is the kind of thing that fits our story.
Mr. Eckstein, you can back up Colin's story that he used to hike up here.
I've run Colin off my property more times than I can count.
So Colin's shoe prints could have been from before the murder. Did you see him out here the day of the murder? Were you here?
No, I wasn't. I've been living in Thousand Oaks during the remodel, but I get up here when I can. The police talk to people who can vouch for me.
Yeah, I know, I checked. So you know Colin?
Not really. Jack and Deb are lovely people, but Colin, he does these horrible paintings. Have you seen them? Disgusting. His father hates them, so Colin lets them dry out here on my property. I asked him to keep them in his house.
What did he say?
He called me an ass.
So, I guess you're not going to want to be a character witness.
Mr. Clark, have you found Colin's confession yet? I mean, are you sure if he even made one?
Not yet. We're still going through discovery. Is something wrong?
Yeah. I didn't talk to Mr. Trout about this earlier because Deb was there. I can't stop thinking, worrying. You saw that I hid this hammer. I can't live with this in my house anymore. I want you to test it. See if there's blood in it or whatever.
I wish you hadn't just done that. Legally, I could have let the hammer stay where it was. But now, if I test it, and it turns out to be the murder weapon, I have to turn it over to the police.
I have to know Colin killed that boy. I have to know.
What the hell is this? Colin didn't tell us he had a website.
Keller finally turned over Colin's laptop. Colin tried to delete this, but we recovered it. See that? That's how Keller got his warrants. It's Colin's confession.
I sent William to hell where he belongs. Bet he cried like a bitch the whole way down. Good riddance. Colin doesn't just look like a killer. He paints and writes like one, too. Why didn't you tell us about this website, Colin? You wrote that you hated William. You and Diablo and this other punk MFD joked about how you killed William.
Why the hell would you do that?
I didn't mean any of it.
Well, then why write it?
It was stupid. But I was just screwing around. I mean, that's what you do on the internet. You write stupid stuff. No one takes any of it seriously.
The DA will, so will the jury.
Who are these other people you were talking to?
Diablo is Floyd.
Floyd? He's the idiot you hang out with tagging? I told you to stay away from Floyd.
I have, I swear. I haven't seen Floyd for months.
Why didn't you mention Floyd before?
Because he's my friend. I didn't want to be a snitch.
Floyd's a bad kid. He's violent. The cops should have arrested Floyd for killing William, not Colin.
We'll check him out. But who's the other kid? MFD.
I don't know. He posted a few times, but he's the one that started writing about William, not me. I was just going along with him.
I knew you weren't telling me something. God, I hate that. Why didn't you tell me Jack hid this?
There was no need. Legally, it never happened. Until he brought it to me and I had it tested.
You tested it? Why? You didn't have to do that.
Jack needed to know. So did I.
Was the hammer clean? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dr. Shaw told me there were no blood traces and it didn't fit the wounds or the nail indentations.
Good. I hope that convinces you. Next time you've got information on our case, tell a friend. I don't like being kept in the dark.
We ran the trace you asked for on Colin's webpage. You are not going to believe who MFD is. We've got a list of every internet protocol address that visited Colin's site. You can't view a website without leaving yours behind. And this IPA has a local governmental prefix because it was the LAPD. They tricked Colin into confessing, or at least making incriminating statements about the case.
There were news reports that the cops tried to do the same thing in the Duke rape case. Can we get his statement suppressed?
No, because the police didn't coerce him into saying anything. Inviting Colin to talk about the case is legal. What he wrote is admissible at trial.
So we can't blame the murder on MFD. Let's hope we can still blame it on Floyd.
Floyd Ames, 18, Colin's friend. The victim, William Dodson, bullied Floyd worse than Colin.
Great. That means Floyd had a motive to kill William. I don't like his look. He's a bigger looking freak than Colin.
Plus, Floyd's violent. He was sent to juvie for assault, vandalism, and cruelty to animals. When Colin got arrested for spray painting pentagrams, Floyd was with him, but got away.
Do we know if the police ever looked at Floyd? He's a better suspect than Colin.
They won't tell us if he was ever a suspect. They don't have to. Neither does Floyd.
Fine. Nothing says we can't tell the jury about Floyd. We'll tell them he could have done this. We'll win with reasonable doubt.
You're sure? They both had the same motive. They both talked about killing William. If we say Floyd did it, the DA's just going to say that Colin and Floyd killed William together.
Why hasn't the DA already said it? Why hasn't Keller offered one of them a deal to testify against the other?
How many people does it take to crucify someone?
Is that a joke?
No, a question. Get our expert, Dr. Shaw, and find out.
victim's tox report shows William Dodson was very drunk when he died.
If he was drunk, it would have been easy to